The rap game can be an incredibly supportive space for new artists who are doing their best to make their mark on the industry. It can also be vicious and tear lives apart, depending on how people deal with the newfound fame. From people who came across just as straight corny sometimes to people charged with serious crimes, the rap game is full of all kinds of people. Today, we're going to be looking at some of the most hated rappers alive right here on Rizzle. Number 6. Tom McDonald. Although it might be surprising to some people, Tom McDonald fans do exist, and there's a good chance one of them is your cousin whose truck is lifted too high to pull through a drive-thru. Tom McDonald has been called out for several reasons, but to get a feel for the main one, here are just a few of the titles of his songs. We have White Boy, No Lives Matter, Politically Incorrect, Fake Woke, Straight White Male, and Canceled. His whole shtick is rapping for people who think Trump secretly won the 2020 election. He's basically doing the thing that a ton of comedians do where they claim they have no platform, they're being censored, the snowflakes can't handle what they're going to say without being offended, that whole thing. If that's really the case, why is he on Spotify? Why is he actually legitimately selling well? It's not like he's a huge rapper, but he's still big enough that most people have at least heard of him, even if they haven't heard his music. If you meet someone who's really into his music, turn around and run the other way as fast as you can. From a technical perspective, without all of the political baggage, he's not even that great of a rapper. He actually started his career as a professional wrestler, but began rapping when he was 18. When asked who his influences were as a rapper, the only two rappers he mentioned were Eminem and Tupac, while the rest of them were classic rock bands like Aerosmith and the Beatles. He's been described as writing white victim complex anthems by critics, in addition to spreading tons of baseless conspiracy theories. To name just one of those, he has a song in which he claims that the Illuminati is cloning rappers, killing the original rappers, and then replacing them with their clones. That pretty much sums up the kinds of insanity that Tom McDonald is on, but boy, we could go on all day about how ridiculous he is. Number 5. Lil Uzi Vert. Some people absolutely love Lil Uzi Vert. Others want to know where he left his clown shoes at. His music itself is super divisive thanks to beats made out of original video game music, emo and alternative music influences, and pretty much being one of the major rappers to spearhead the mumble rap scene back in his day. For all the hate he's gotten, he's also had some serious features by other important people in the industry, like Gucci Mane and Migos. People have accused him of worshiping Satan. He's been in a few pretty low-key feuds, and we haven't even gotten into the bulk of it yet. When he dropped his album, Eternal Atake, everyone had been hyped for at least a year, until some of the album got leaked and Uzi had to re-record the entire thing over a month. In 2021, he came out and showed the world a very interesting fashion choice that he decided would be the ultimate flex. Uzi had a 10-karat pink diamond surgically inserted into his forehead, which no one had really done before. Doctors warned against it, as he could have probably died if it went wrong. But, here we are, and Uzi seems to be doing just fine. Although he seems to have gotten the diamond taken out, thank goodness. There's also the fact that he's pretty buddy-buddy with Grimes, an alternative musician married to Elon Musk, and Musk is a divisive factor in any situation. With her help, Uzi claims that he's been able to buy an entire planet. Experts are saying you can't really do that because, who's able to sell the planet? Humanity hasn't even visited. Who even owns that? Number 4. Tory Lanez. Daystar Shemuel Shua Peterson, better known as Tory Lanez, has seen better days throughout his career. Despite the fact that dababy brought him out on stage at Rollin' Loud, it didn't seem like anyone was super excited to see him. Why is that? Because Megan Thee Stallion, his ex, had just finished her set. Now, why is that a problem? Because back in 2020, Tory Lanez and Meg were riding together in the car, apparently going through some pretty rough patches in their relationship. Meg ended up with a gunshot wound in her foot, and there's only one person who could have fired the shot, although the whole situation was kept pretty quiet for a long time. At first, she claimed that the wound was due to having a bit of glass in her foot, but shortly after that, she changed her mind and decided she wouldn't protect her soon-to-be ex by lying. She came out and explained that they were gunshot wounds as a result of a crime that was committed against me and done with the intention to physically harm me. She also came out against Tory Lanez publicly to make sure that he wasn't able to save face by getting his PR team on the case to start dispelling rumors. In an Instagram live, she made a statement saying,
"Yes, this nigga Tory shot me. You shot me. And you got your publicists and your people going to these blogs lying and shit. Stop lying. Why lie? I don't understand.
This was also about a month before Meg would feature on WAP, one of the hottest songs of 2020. Do you really think you're gonna get away with something like this as Meg is just starting to really pop off? Number 3, Lil Pump. Lil Pump's hated for a few reasons. If Lil Uzi Vert was a major player in the mumble rap scene, that means that Lil Pump was the MVP. Old heads absolutely love to drag the dude for his lack of lyrical intricacy, simple beats, and cultural appropriation. The fact that Gucci Gang hit the radio for so long over and over only made the problem worse. The song is catchy, of course, but it wore out its welcome super quick. He was well known for being extremely hyper in all of his public appearances, shouting ad-libs in interviews and any other time he showed up, and a debacle in which he was accused of being discriminatory toward Asian people. It was all the MAGA hat stuff that really started to upset people, though. He came out to support Donald Trump publicly, like someone else further up on this list. It went so far that Trump actually pulled him on stage for a rally where Trump referred to him as Lil Pimp. When asked about why he chose to throw in his support behind Trump, he replied that it was because he didn't like Joe Biden's tax plan, even though it probably wouldn't have affected him anyway. He also got banned from the airline JetBlue for refusing to wear a mask in the middle of a public health crisis. He's technically still around and working these days, but he's kind of shifted the space he works into a different area. He's been selling NFTs of digital clothing and a line of Lil Pump trading cards. Number 2, 6ix9ine. If you don't know about 6ix9ine by now, you haven't been paying enough attention. He was known for his aggressive rapping style, his gangster persona, his rainbow-colored hair and artwork, and for being embroiled in beef with pretty much everyone in the rap game. So, where did the beef start? After releasing some of the biggest hits of his career like Gummo, he was arrested, along with tons of other members of a gang known as the 9 Trey Bloods. The gang was known for running substances and selling unlicensed weapons, and 6ix9ine was arrested for racketeering, a charge that used to be applied mostly to people in the mafia. The charge is used to convict people who might not have committed any crimes on their own, but they order other people to, and have a role at the top of the organized crime group. So, what did 6ix9ine do when he was staring down a charge for life in prison? He folded. He ratted all the homies out. He flipped. And so, even though the feds were really trying to take down 6ix9ine to make an example of him, everyone else went away instead of him after he took a deal. This has gotten him effectively blacklisted from the rap community, and everyone who's anyone refuses to work with him. Nicki Minaj did a track with him, but other than that, he really hasn't done much at all. He does chime in during interviews occasionally to talk trash about other rappers or to talk about what happened with the 9 Trey Bloods. Other than that, he's pretty much irrelevant. Number 1, dababy. Dropped from Lollapalooza, dropped from a ton of brand sponsorships, got replaced by other artists in tons of events, and called out by some of the biggest names in music. So, what happened here? During the Rolling Loud Festival in Miami of July 2021, he made some comments that lit up the media as far as the eye could see. What did he say exactly? If you didn't show up with HIV/AIDS, any of them sexually transmitted diseases that will make you die in 2-3 weeks, put your cell phone lights up. Ladies, if your pussy smell like water, put your cell phone lights in the air. Fellas, if you ain't sucking a dick in the parking lot, put your cell phone lights up. Since then, Dua Lipa, Elton John, Madonna, and tons of other people have come together to condemn the comments that dababy made and explain that his understanding of HIV/AIDS is completely false and rooted in anti-LGBT stigma. He came out to make some apologies, but they were super half-hearted, and in most of them, it almost felt like he's doubling down on his ludicrous statements because he doesn't know how to take a step back and reflect on himself. T.I. came in to defend him, while also bringing Lil Nas X into the fray for some reason. dababy also got called out by Questlove, one of the most important living hip-hop musicians, and then claimed that he had no clue who Questlove was anyway. Okay. The problem is, it's not likely that dababy is ever actually gonna respond to this in a way that works, and it's pretty likely that his career could just actually be over from here. So what do y'all think? Are there any rappers we missed that we should have shown here? Is dababy done after all this? Is 6ix9ine ever gonna be a force to be reckoned with in the rap game ever again? Is Uzi ever gonna find his way back down to earth? Should Kanye West have been on this list? Let us know what you think down below in the comments. And don't be afraid to leave a like. You can also ring that bell down below, to subscribe and get more rap news sent straight into your subscription feed. As always, Have a great rest of your day, and don't forget to keep it Rizzle.